All right, all right, all right. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Mhm.
Johnny Glover back in the saddle with the one and only Marsha Jews. What's up, Marsha Jews?
Child, the sun is up. I hope. I want it to be sunny today. But what's up is that you're back on the air and I'm excited and I'm here with you and I'm here for all of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How you doing, Donnie Glover? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right? I
Mhm.
ain't seen you in a minute, brother.
Yeah.
I know. My brother
Lost
from
some
another
people.
mother.
Yeah, lost some people.
Yeah.
One of my mentors got his wings, Mr. Ed Hooks. He owned
Oh.
Club Paradise.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
I used to make a lot of money with him. Club Paradise is 2 blocks from my house, and they used to feature live entertainment.
Wow.
One of the few spots uptown with live entertainment. If you get live entertainment, that's $100 a musician at least.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's worth every dime because they were good.
Mhm.
I'm
Panama
sorry
was
that you
one.
got.
Panama
Wow.
was one of the featured. Uh,
Oh, the Panama Band? What?
One of the singers lives right around the corner, Anthony Wilson.
Stop. I love it. There's a lot happening over there in West Baltimore.
Mhm. I also met Dennis Chambers. You ever heard of Dennis Chambers?
It sounds familiar, but I can't see the face.
Dennis Chambers is who I consider the greatest drummer in the world.
Oh. And he played with them at Paradise? Club
No, no,
Paradise?
no. But he
Oh.
was featured there one night.
Oh, okay.
They would have all kinds of musicians came through there. Tiny Tim would come through there. Tiny Tim,
Not the other Tiny Tim.
no, no, local singer. He just got
Okay.
his wings. That's Akio Evans' uncle.
Mm.
Yeah, very, very famous entertainer who used to perform on historic Pennsylvania Avenue.
Historic
Hmm.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
You got a
Yeah.
comment already.
A comment already. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's Tammy Thomas.
Oh, hey, Tammy Thomas. How
Hmm.
you doing, girl?
Tammy's over there at Tedco.
Yeah, doing it too. She is really, she's amazing with the work that she's doing over there, and she's really committed to it.
Mhm.
It's huge. It's really huge.
Omar's over there. Omar Muhammad.
Uh huh.
You know
And he,
Omar.
yes, Omar used to be with Career Communications Group.
Hmm.
We used to work
All of
together.
us are mentees, if you will, of the incredible,
Doctor.
phenomenal Dr. Tyrone Taborn. Ashe.
Yep. Bad brother. It's a bad brother.
Mhm.
And so is Tammy. Tammy's a bad sister because she's
No
over there
question.
really stirring that pot. And for a black woman to be in that position, I'm just going to say it, she really understands her mission and what needs to happen for everybody to be equal. And that's powerful. And I love her for that.
But she's great enough within herself to be able to support others, you know?
Yes, that's right. Right. She has a giving spirit. And that, um, more people should
Especially in
pay
this day.
attention to her. Yeah, more
Yeah.
people should pay attention to her and learn what they should be doing because not everybody understands the mission. The
But
mission is
she's
bigger
a
than your
big
ego.
cheerleader. She's a big cheerleader for Tedco and the
Yeah,
people there. More
yeah,
importantly, the people,
yeah.
the mission.
Right. And people who are small businesses. If we can say it, we will say when it's enough to talk
We
about you, Tammy Thomas. I
Yeah.
can talk about you, and he can talk about. We'll talk about you. We'll make this whole show about you, Tammy. Oh, okay. Let me slow down. But we love you, girl. We love you.
Greetings down to Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, who's
Mr.
down
Michael
there?
Randolph. He's from
Oh,
Sandtown.
oh, what? And went to Tampa.
Yeah, he
Isn't
moved to
that where the good
Tampa.
football team is down there?
The Ravens aren't there.
Oh, are they a good football team?
The Ravens?
The Ravens? Are they a good football team? How many games have they lost?
What kind of question is that?
I am just asking. I don't know. I'm
Football,
just
it's
trying
not
to.
football season, but they picked up Odell Beckham
Oh, from
Yeah.
where?
I don't know where Odell was, but he's a
They picked him up on the street,
premier.
hitchhiking. Where's he?
All
You
right, so
called. You
Marsha,
called me. I was minding my own business.
you'll never be minding your own business.
How you doing, Donnie Glove?
I'm grateful. I was in church today, believe it or not.
Where? Where'd you go?
I was at New Psalmist Baptist Church.
Oh, you over there with the holy ones. Walter Thomas. I love him.
Marsha, I have a short attention span.
Yes,
And I prefer, you ever been to an Episcopal church?
once.
The service was all of 20 minutes.
Oh, you like that? You didn't have to put your. Did you learn anything in those 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? What'd you learn in the 20 minutes? What did you learn in the 20 Okay. So what are we talking about here today? Something's going on. Somebody's stirring the pot with you today.
Marsha, I think there should be a limit on how long a church service is, though.
Oh, you don't like the 3 hour ones?
Uh-uh.
You go
Can't
in
do
at
it.
11, you get out at 2.
I remember when New Psalmist was down on Cathedral Street, Franklin Street,
Uh-huh.
1 hour service on Wednesdays,
Oh.
12 noon.
Oh, okay.
I like that. I can deal with that.
Uh-huh. Just 1 hour.
I can't do two and a half.
Oh,
Can't do it.
yeah? Yeah. Why not? You're just impatient? But this is the word of God. This needs to get into your spirit. You need to understand what the Lord is asking you to do. Don't have nothing to do with you and a time clock. You got an alarm going off? What's that about?
I can't sit that long.
Oh, okay. So do you tape the service and then play it later when you get home, when you have time and you
It's the
can just.
first time I've been to church in years.
Oh, yeah?
Well, in the sense of just, yeah, I mean, I won't say
Well,
years.
yeah,
I've been in church. I've been in
what,
church.
what church did you go to when you were there years ago?
The last church I was a member of was Sharon. But
Oh,
that was
Sharon
Reverend Funk.
Baptist.
Yeah.
Yeah, ACD Vaughn. Oh, I loved
We ain't
him.
doing
He
no two and a half hour
passed.
service.
I hate that he passed. He was a good man.
But we all got to go one day. Nobody
Yeah,
gets
we
out
do.
alive.
Nope, nope. You can't run
Mhm.
and you can't hide. So what's up? What's
What's up
up?
in the city of Baltimore?
I'm supposed to rain hard today.
Is this the kind of chicanery?
I was minding my own business. I was minding my own business. I was getting ready to make a wonderful chicken salad.
Oh, that sounds
And
good.
my brother said, we got to do this right now. So I figured something real important.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Well, go ahead.
Question: Can Marsha share with us some of the ways she supports our ecosystem via STEM initiatives? She's the bomb diggity. Want to hear about her activities in this space?
Girl, you are so funny. So I guess the biggest thing coming up with STEM for me is that this show and my show are both being produced and shown in the metaverse, stemcityusa.com. And you can go into the metaverse, go straight ahead. You'll see the Dean DeLoach building in front of you, and there'll be a little outline of a
At
white
Morgan State
door,
University.
Morgan State University, former engineering dean. And then there's a door framed in white, and you walk through that door, look to your right, and you'll see another door framed in white, and you go in there, and that'll take you to the STEM City newsroom. And you can watch all of our shows in the newsroom. You just look at the logo for Black USA, and you look at the logo for WKIM Media Network. and you'll be able to watch all of our shows. Those are two real important things I'd like for you to do. The other thing that is really important is the Black Engineer of the Year Awards Conference is coming back to Baltimore in February.
Yay!
I'm so excited about that. And it is in its 32nd, 34th year. I'm not really sure, but it's in the 30s. They've been around for 30 years, and I've been involved with them probably about 20 or so. They also, or a little bit more than that. Also, that's in February here in Baltimore, and you go to www.ccg.mag.com, and that's Career Communications Group, and they have uh, three magazines. And then in October in Detroit, we have the Women of Color STEM Conference, and that will be there. And these are two huge conferences celebrating all of these STEM influencers and creators and developers, and just it's amazing. And the top corporate Fortune 400 attend this event, if not more. So you should be there. They have programming for young people.
That's the most important part.
Yep, they have young people who have presentations made for them. They also have during the middle of middle school. They bring them in middle school and high school, and they bring them into the career fair so that they can see the different types of careers. And so this has been going on for a long time, and it's very exciting. So thank you, Tammy. We'll be back in February, so I know we'll see you there then.
So, Marsha, at this Black Engineer of the Year Awards, Baya,
Mhm.
they feature who might you see at Baya?
General Motors, General Dynamics, General Electric, Lockheed Martin, um, General, but Mercedes Benz, Daimler Chrysler, IBM. If you go to the Fortune 500 list and look for the Fortune 500 list on the internet, every one of those corporations will have some sort of representation. And it's global, which is really wonderful. And oh, okay, thanks, Tammy. And it's global. So what's really exciting is people are getting awards from people who are with corporations who have locations in Europe, in Africa, in the Northeast, all over the world, literally. And they have to compete. And so there's several awards programs that go on during that time. And I find them powerful. I mean, to be able to sit there and look at people who created the first of all of these technologies. And P.S. Oh, by the way, they look like me and Donnie. And so if you've got all these Black people that have created all of these amazing mechanical or scientific things, and we're celebrating them, it speaks to what we are doing before we had all of these ways of getting information on the internet, when you had to go to a library or you had to actually listen in the classroom. But now we have the ability to learn about these people and to attend these conferences to see the possibilities. You know, I have an old saying, Donnie, I used to say back in the day, you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, then you've got to go someplace and say, and be honest with yourself to say, I need to explore. I need to see what's out there. And we look at some of these people who have retired or they've been around for 20 years or 10, 15 years. They had to go through a lot to get to where they are in the science, technology, engineering, and math sections. We see movies about some of these people, but when you go to the Black Engineer of the Year Awards Conference or the Women of Color Awards Conference, you will see people who look just like you, who had the audacity to believe that they could do that too.
So, Marsha, one of the things I wanted to pose to you this afternoon is how do we better reach our young people? I don't know if I'm sure you saw it on the news. Everybody saw it. There was a mass shooting down in Brooklyn where 28 people were shot, 2 were killed. When I think of the level of violence, not just in Baltimore, but in a lot of other places across the country,
Mhm.
but here in Baltimore is 63% black, I think 73% people of color. And it's troubling. It's troubling to know that we have a plethora of black elected officials. Statewide, we have African Americans, black people in top positions like never before. Governor, Attorney General, Treasurer, Speaker of the House. We are more pronounced in politics than ever before. But something's not happening. And I'm not sure it's about black or white, but something is not working. When I think of the many nonprofits that we have in this town and the millions of dollars that they get to serve East and West Baltimore in particular. Why aren't all of these various resources that we have, black elected officials, nonprofits galore, some pretty educated citizens? Say what you want, we have some of the smartest people in the world right here in Baltimore. We have some phenomenal churches and other organizations, the Divine Nine, the Masons, including the women. Something's not working. Something's not gelling. Something's not happening. Something's not manifesting. What do you think it is, Marsha? Why is there so? Do you think, for instance, that someone is putting guns in the hands of our young people? There's guns everywhere. Everybody's strapped. Everybody's strapped. Do you think it's Freddie Gray and the consent decree, which caused the Baltimore City Police to take a knee, one of which they are still on? I saw an incident that was going on right across the street, was the police, and they just lay back. We have an educational system. We have a school CEO that makes somewhere around $400,000. Yet, despite all of these resources, legislation, policies, Baltimore is off the hook. I'm not talking about other cities. I'm talking about Baltimore. Baltimore. What's wrong with Baltimore?
There's no leadership. I think the thing that's really frightening, I have a 15-year-old grandson, and I walk all over town. I
You,
walk. I
you
walk.
walk.
I walk day, night. I walk everywhere. I walk over to the art gallery in Hamden. I walk to the one down in Fells Point. Um, I walk. And I've decided that I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to walk. And we see so many instances of young people who have gone through their own trauma that's impacting how they function every day. What is occurring that somebody in middle school and high school would have a gun and actually want to shoot and kill somebody? What occurred in that child's life for them to believe that they needed to do that? several years ago, when I was working with Alvin Ely Dance Theater Foundation of Maryland,
Mhm.
and we were out at UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in the fall. And then in the summer, we were over at Morgan State University. And there was a young man, I'll not forget this. This was in the 90s. And there was a young man sitting on the bleachers by himself, young black dude. And I went over and I said, "Hey, babe, what's going on? Why aren't you out? Fidelma has all these plans for you." She was the camp director, and she's planned everything, and we really want you to be involved. And he looked at me. He said, "You always want to be bubbly and stuff, Miss Marsha." He said, "I don't even see me living past 15."
Really?
Really. This is still in my brain as though it happened yesterday. That taking a little girl home.
So let's unpack that for a bit. Our young people have it set in their mind. Some of them, some of our young
Some of
people,
them. Some of
some
them.
of our young people.
Some of them.
It sounds like a lot of trauma, including trauma at home sometimes.
Let me tell you about this little girl. I drove her home because her people didn't come pick her up and she missed the bus waiting. I drove her home, and when we pulled up into the front of her house, you know how the door has the little squares and all that. A third of the bottom of the door, a little bit more, was cut out. It was big enough for a grown man to crawl through. The lights were off in the house. And these are all still part of that program from 1990 something. But it's still with me. So I'm sitting out in my car. I got my lights on because it's fall. I'm waiting for her to turn the lights on in the house. The lights don't come on in the house. So it's one of those alley streets. I get out the car. I go knock on the door, and I ask her to turn the lights on. She said the lights don't work. So there's no electricity on in the house. There's this huge void at the bottom of the door. This little girl is in the house by herself. So now it's getting darker, and I'm still sitting in the alley street. I got my lights on, they're blinking. And finally, over an hour and some change later, here comes somebody who actually had a key to get into the house. Now, if I hadn't been there, who knows what could have happened with that bottom of that door missing. And so we talk about trauma. You can't tell me that little girl wasn't traumatized. And when her mom came, she didn't even acknowledge that I was sitting in front of her house. I rolled down the window as she was digging in her purse, and I said, "I just want you to know I thought I'd wait for you." She said, "Okay," and went on in the house. So if we have that type of parenting going on at home, and we have all of the other madness that's going on around us, these young people can barely manage their own lives, let alone function in an environment where people who could care less about your life are walking around their age with guns that have bullets that can kill people. And until we make a decision and get the right police commissioner and the right mayor to literally understand that we are in a crisis here.
Yeah, it's a crisis. Yeah, it's a crisis. And it's normalized.
Yeah, it is. I was walking up Broadway the other day. It's about 2 weeks now. And it was dark. I was coming from the gallery down in Fells. And I was walking up, street lights are on, and I heard a lot of noise behind me. And I didn't turn around. I just leaned on these 3 yellow posts that border this corner on Broadway. And I decided to lean and see who was behind me.
Who's
And
behind?
it was about 6 or 7 kids, black kids. They're walking. And I said, because I decided that I was just going to be me. And I said, does your mom and them know you out here and the street lights are on? And they fell out laughing. Just, oh, mom, I said they do care. And we had a whole little conversation. And then they giggled all the way across the street and underneath the viaduct and went on about their business. And I'm using those examples where if we treat our young people with love, if more parents, more neighbors, more friends treat our young people with love, and they're not so angry, they're not so hurt, they're not so much in pain that they feel that they have to lash out. We have to give them something. We are not giving them an education.
We have failed them.
We have failed them on every level. And until we get some real leadership in this city to handle it, our young people, don't nobody want to be out in the street with no doggone bottle of water trying to spray it on somebody's car. The reality is that ain't nobody dealing with the truth. And the truth is that half these children don't have any food at home. They don't have any electricity at home. They don't have any parents at home because they're out in the street or they're high. And so if we're dealing with that, and that's our MO.
I'm glad you said that.
Then you're going to get what you give.
That is something that I want to get to. So traditionally in the Black community, there's alcohol, there's marijuana, there's heroin, cocaine, and as of the 80s and 90s, crack cocaine. Are you familiar at all with this crystal meth?
Oh, that's been around for a while. Yeah.
Here in Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the fentanyl. And
yep.
then the mixing of fentanyl with other drugs.
All of that. And somebody has been given the green light to bring it to this town. Somebody has given the green light that it's okay to bring that foolishness in this town.
All I know is there are no Fortune 500s planning to come to Baltimore anytime that I know of. And I would imagine it's because we don't have a workforce that could lend itself.
But you have to educate and train. You got to educate and train people. If you and you've got to create an environment where families are able to eat, they have electricity on, that they have hope.
You mentioned electricity. Did you see the 3 ladies get arrested for protesting BGE?
No, I didn't see it, but I'm glad they did. They need to. I'm just tired of the foolishness. This is 2020, whatever. And here we are still having a conversation about our kids can't read and write. They can't do the math. We don't have the capacity. We don't have the jobs. We got kids standing on the street looking at folks who don't want them to even be there anyway, trying to get a little hustle going so they can at least try to bring some food in the house for their little brother and sister. And we think it's okay. We got a woman making $400,000 a year and the kids can't read and write. And we're sitting here looking at homes that are vacant where young people are living in these homes. These vacant properties are children and their families, or just children escaping the abuse that they've been going on in their own households. This is a crisis. We can't get the internet to do our business. but yet you expect that child to be able to say, okay, well, that's okay, don't worry about it, but you got to worry about it because you're going to fail if you can't get on the internet and do your homework. This city is filled with the multiple levels of problems, and we need leadership that's serious about changing the trajectory of the lives of our young people and citizens.
You know,
Period.
there's a mayoral election May 14th,
Good.
2024,
Is that here
in the
in
city of
Baltimore?
Baltimore. There's also a U.S. Senate race, and people are lining up.
So you
Should be
should run for
interesting.
something, Donnie.
Me,
Yeah, you should run for something. You should run for something.
I have a dream.
Yep, you should run for something. I'm
Nah, baby.
serious. Why not?
Nah. Why not?
Why not?
Because I've seen so many people, once they become an elected official, it becomes more about staying in the club than it is about being a leader.
Here's what I know.
It's more about staying in the club. Once you get in, and I'm talking about the Democratic Club, Baltimore's 9-1 Democrat, but I've seen so many people, countless, white and black, that once they get in, it's all about staying in the
It's about
in the
them.
club.
And there you go.
It's not about service. So let me just say this: when I think of a Baltimore City Councilwoman B. Gaddy,
Oh, I loved her.
when I
I
think
loved
about
her.
a state senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam, when
No
I think
question.
about a state senator Joan Carter Conway, these
Mhm. No, they did not play. They do not play. Right. There, I have the utmost respect for all of them.
a
Utmost
superb
respect.
a superb level and
Yeah.
understanding.
Hmm.
We get in
Yeah.
there and we stealing $15,000. We stealing a suit.
I think the biggest issue is that the other piece is that we need to get parents involved. And
And
go
we
ahead.
don't even know who our elected officials are or what they do or how to hold them accountable. It's not just about voting for somebody. It's about building a rapport, building a relationship, getting their cell number. When you need something done, if I need something done in this district, I will call a lady from Councilman John Bullock's office,
Mhm.
Linda Lomax, and she's on it.
Mhm. I call
Yeah.
Corey.
McCray, Senator McCray.
He's serious. He don't be playing either.
There are people who, they'll talk about an elected official, but they never did anything to connect with them.
So
And
what?
so, and
So
and
wait.
it means also supporting their fundraisers.
So here's something. Let's say this is what I don't even know what month this is anymore. This is
July 9th, 2023.
all right. So come September, we should have a docket of the people who want to come back and be in position versus those who want to come back but haven't done anything to deserve coming back.
It's all relative. Again, once you get in that club, it's about staying in that club. First object of power is to stay in power. But then the
Well,
question is power to do what? Because
power concedes nothing.
if your politics isn't translating into economics for your community,
Right.
you have nothing.
That's right. It's a song. I don't know. I think that we have to
Why don't you run
really.
for office?
I thought about it. I thought about it. I really have.
I wouldn't
I
want you to, because I wouldn't want you to change.
Oh, that I wouldn't change. I think that I thought about it though. I have really thought about it.
Really?
No, yeah, I have really thought about it. I've really
Really?
thought. I've really been thinking about it.
Okay.
I've really been thinking about it. I'm just tired of this foolishness. City can be much better. People make a commitment that they want to run and then they win, and then what do? Our children are suffering. People are unemployed. The housing is terrible. What do we do? We can't just keep having these little conversations on your show or my show. We keep talking about it. What was that they used to say back in the day? Talking loud and saying nothing. That's what we used to say in South Bend.
All I
Talking
know is
loud and saying nothing.
when you
Somebody's got to make a change.
when you hear about 28 people being shot at a party that the police knew
Right.
about at least an hour
At a
before,
party. At a
and 2
party.
people get killed down in Brooklyn. I think it's called Brooklyn Day or something.
Right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
traumatic. It's frightening. It's a telltale sign that something's not working.
The administration. Well, how many? I don't even know how many police chiefs we've had and how long any of them have stayed for any period of time.
Well, Harrison was here specifically to implement the consent decree.
That was his job, and that was the only job he had.
That was his primary job.
Was that his only job he had?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you the police chief. Now he got Worley in there. A lot of people like him. I like local. I like the cops that grew up here in the city of Baltimore.
I just want them to do their daggone job from wherever they are. Just do your job. Protect and serve. I just want you to do that. You get paid 6, 8 figures. I just want you to do your job. Get the criminals off the street. Education, give them an education. Put the people in the education that can educate our kids. Give the kids what they need in order to function. Instead of putting BG&E down the damn pipes, put pipes, put the connectivity all in the pipes so that they can do that. LaGrange, Georgia's mayor. I challenge you all to find the Intelligent Community Forum, and they go around the world looking at cities and countries who are deploying the internet and connections to their citizens around the world, global. There's one person who is in LaGrange, Georgia, who is the mayor. He took back all the pipe from their utility companies, and they took it back so it became the ownership of the city of LaGrange, Georgia. And in that pipe, now this I learned about 10 years ago. I'm still talking about it. Sheila came up when I was at the Institute for Learning Technology, Institute for Urban and Minority Education at Columbia University, having this conversation. She was there when we were talking about it.
Sheila who?
Dixon. And so this man took over that pipe and put the internet down the pipe and gave free internet connection to all of the citizens of LaGrange, Georgia. Now, we just took back all the pipe. I don't know how much money BG&E paid and where that money went for BG&E to be in the pipes underneath the city where we pay taxes. I'm just saying. At some point, Baltimore has to wake up, and it's past time.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming out.
I was minding my own business. Minding my business.
How are things in East Baltimore?
Well, they're tearing down, building up, selling. They're people are coming back to East Baltimore. And there's a lot of boarded up buildings that aren't boarded up, or you see them going through construction. So there's some things, there's they're stirring the pot over here a little bit. We still have issues, but I think that there are some people over here who are really ready for a change, and they're voicing that. So
Any final thoughts?
just pray for Baltimore and pray for our leadership and pray for our citizens and for us to be able
And our
to
children.
do, no question, all of them. That's foremost. I've been talking about them the whole time. So yeah, but you can't. You've got to also have their parents. We have to help them, and we have to be able to look at different opportunities. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. It's impossible.
Insanity. Hold up, we
Yeah.
got a comment before you go.
Hmm.
Mr. Michael Randolph, he said, great show.
He also said there is a growing number of Black sociologists and psychologists that believe that the violence in Black communities is related to generational trauma.
Said a mouthful.
Right there. Put a couple of exclamation points, Mr. Randolph. Thank you for your contribution.
When can people catch you on air?
Tuesdays, starting at 6 o'clock, 6, 7, and 8. We usually have 1 hour shows every Tuesday from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. So please join us
Where?
on WKIM in the metaverse, StemCityUSA.com. Or you can see us on YouTube, WKIM, Marsha Jews,
Do you
or
like you?
LinkedIn.
Do you like YouTube?
I like YouTube. I don't have to do much. Do you like YouTube?
I'm just mean the content. Just Google owns YouTube, like
Ah,
Facebook owns Instagram.
aha, okay.
I did want to say this: these elected officials, they too media thirsty,
Mm,
including social media thirsty. Everybody wants to be on social media. Do the damn job.
that's the priority.
Mhm.
But then they have to make certain that when they do the job, they want people to know that they did the job. So we got to find that balance, right?
Mhm.
All right,
The one
Donnie
and
Glover.
only Marsha Jews, right here on the Donnie Glover Show. Thank you for joining us.
My brother, thank you from another mother. Thank you, Donnie.
Good to be back.
Yes, good to see you.
Good deal. Do check out bemorenews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. And don't forget to check out I Am Black Wall Street, the
Yes, you
history
are.
of how the people in Oklahoma first got there. A fascinating story.
Thank you. And he's an author too.
Two-time author.
All right. Thanks.
See you next time, folks. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Do check out bemorenews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. And also check out blackusa.news, which is the result of the streaming network, spearheaded with the vision by Marsha Jews and WKIM. And we'll be back Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. right here. Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you. Love you, guy.